light in front of you? There you go.
Lights, camera, action.
There you go. If you lean a little forward, you'll be all right.
You know,
Pull your chair up a little bit.
how's that? To
That's
put the
good.
spotlight on me.
That's good. Your beard is so very white, but yeah, that's good.
That's from the light. I can make it look like I'm landing from heaven. Doesn't look like they're on the line yet.
Well, the connection is open, so someone must be there.
You're Casper Murat?
Who's Casper Murat? Do we know?
I don't know.
Hey, Robert, James, can you hear us?
Hello there.
Lou.
Hey, I'm guessing that means you can hear us.
I can hear you very well.
Okay, perfect.
Loud and clear. Okay, I got some stuff to do. While you do that.
Jim, what is that behind you? It looks like a huge lampshade or something. Sideways. Yeah, what is?
This?
Well, it's just behind that. Yeah, what is it?
This here?
It's a background?
It's a background.
I haven't gotten to that stage of sophistication.
Well, let me see if I put one in there. Something lighter. How's that? Background. Okay. No background.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we do have a quorum, we are ready to begin the formal meeting. And let's see. We start with some announcements, Alex, where I see you have a list of 4 announcements.
Yeah, there was quite a few announcements.
Okay, go right ahead.
Also noting that we have Mitch, Ken, Eric, and then online we have Robert and James. So that's 5. So you do have a quorum as you correctly indicated. There are still vacancies on the EAC, primarily because the supervisors tabled that. We are still trying to get a hold of Pat Owens. No luck thus far, and it's likely the board's gonna act.
Alex,
Yeah.
I actually visited Pat Owens, and
Oh,
she's doing very well. She's going to come home very shortly, and I think the question of whether she's coming back or not is still open. So we're not sure about how many vacancies we have.
that's great news.
It is.
Robert, can you tell us why the supervisors tabled the applications that would be C for members of the EAC?
Because we don't know how many positions we have yet, because we don't know whether Pat is coming back or not as chairman. And she seems to be getting well, and she indicated to me that she's thinking about it and she may want to come back. So that would be one position. If she doesn't come back, we have 2.
And then we have alternates to consider as well.
How many applications have we received so far?
I think we've received two, and they're both, as far as I know, it's two, but they're both very good candidates, and we would hate to have to choose between them if we can appoint both of them. We just don't know yet.
There was also another person who reached out at the last meeting who may also be interested, so that could be three. So yeah, it's a little complicated, shouldn't be, but it's becoming complicated as life gets sometimes. The next announcement, Rivers Edge Bike Park public meeting. So we just had one last week. For those of you who came, it was quite a dynamic meeting, very productive. And then this is the last one. The whole process is finally finished. So that meeting's September 17th at 6 p.m. It's going to be a joint meeting with the supervisors and all the committee people. So it should be a pretty good meeting. Very excited to see that project reach its conclusion. And then the two events that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
One question, any feedback on what the major issues were or conclusions were from the past meeting?
I think I sent out, did you see the presentation I sent out?
I saw the presentation.
Okay, yeah, so that covers a lot of it, and then there was a lot of discussion at the meeting. I don't know that I can recall it all right here as I sit here, but I can get back to you and try my best to sum it up for you. I do believe that meeting was live streamed, so maybe if you're really bored and want to watch an hour and a half meeting, that's another option for you too.
Were minutes kept of the meeting?
Yeah, they won't be ready for the public until they're approved though, so that's gonna be after that meeting.
Alex,
Yeah.
Like
correction.
they're petering out
Right.
unless they're coming late.
Can you mute her, please?
Yeah, we could try
Yeah,
to.
somebody needs to mute probably, I think.
The bike park meeting, it was live streaming, but there's no playback on YouTube. So it's just a live Zoom meeting. That's the heads up, so you guys need to go by the minutes when it's ever approved.
I'll have to look at it, I mean.
It's not there, that's why,
There's no meeting.
not on YouTube. There was a live streaming, but it wasn't streaming to YouTube. Or maybe you guys didn't release the recording for a specific reason.
That wasn't my,
I know it's not your own,
Yeah,
but
just-
it's
I
not,
can- I
they
can,
know that
yeah,
if they go, they're not gonna find the video there.
okay, okay. And so anyway, the next announcement is pick up the Poconos October 10th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. There's a lot of folks in the audience. If anyone wants to help volunteer to pick up the Poconos, we could use some volunteers on Friday, October 10th. If you want a flyer for anyone in the public here, I see there's a lot of you now. We have a flyer. All you gotta do is scan it and RSVP and you can help pick up the Poconos on Farm Road. We're gonna have the DPW there. And they're gonna help make it safe. And the EAC will be there and it'll be a good time, help beautify the community together. Does that sound good to everybody? Everyone saw the flyer? I know Mitch, you'd asked me about the QR code and we took care of that. It's gonna be in the newsletter.
On both of them, yeah.
And then the hike at Godfrey's Ridge, again, to everyone here in the public, if you want to go on an educational hike at Godfrey's Ridge, some of you may be familiar, there's a mountain biking path up there, it's a pretty nice place. We're gonna go on Saturday, September 27th at 1 p.m.
I walked the lower trail the other day after we talked. It's a good, like 1.8, 1.9 miles out and back. I didn't go up top. There was a lot of, mountain bikers in there,
Oh.
but, they did spot a bear.
Yeah, yeah.
And I actually know someone who's watching that the stream's not working, they said.
Oh,
They're probably gonna take a look at it.
They just asked if I was here because the streaming's not working.
And they're waiting for a host to let them in.
I don't know.
no, that's not the issue, but I'll try to pull it up right now. But anyway, does anyone have any questions on the hike?
Question from the
So it is
audience
working.
out here, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be on the other end.
Any questions on the hike?
There's a question.
Hey, yeah, it's not about the hike, it was just to pick up the Poconos. I was just curious if we what was the process just behind the date change? Because it was originally a Saturday, for those of us who work Monday through Friday, can't attend.
Yeah,
Or just considering future volunteer events on weekends, but I'm sure there was a reason for it, I was just curious.
yeah, it was primarily related to the availability of the Department of Public Works.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally, the pick up the Poconos is a weekend, but in this particular case, because we had to have a safety crew there. They basically are the linchpin for the event, so we had to put around our schedule, so I appreciate your understanding.
Yeah, makes sense, thank you.
Okay, so, does that complete announcements?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, the next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve of the minutes of the last regular meeting, which took place on August 19th?
Motion to approve.
Okay, a motion to approve was made by Robert.
No, second.
Okay, and seconded by Mitch. So, okay. Any comments about, any corrections or comments about the minutes?
I just have one question. The letter of recommendation that we talked about and approved at the last meeting, was that sent?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna talk about those on old business update on feedback, if you wouldn't.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is when you do send those things, those recommendations, if you get a copy of some of them, because I mean, otherwise I don't know if they're sent or not sent.
Yeah, that's certainly something I can talk to the township about. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And we will definitely talk about an update on those later on in the meeting.
Right, well, they're coming from us, so I mean, it's very logical that we would get a copy of what was actually sent.
Yeah,
Okay, any further discussion of the
Yeah, I have one more question.
Okay, sure.
Eric had brought up preparing talking points. When we do the hike for Godfrey's Ridge. Who's gonna do that and when should it be done?
that's a great question. That's probably we could talk about it now. I mean, really anybody who wants to. I would say should keep it to the EAC members, but anyone from the EAC that has something that they'd like to share with anyone on the hike would be a viable candidate for that. I know I personally can talk a little bit about, some of the ecology there and, if you guys wanna put each something together that you'd like to talk about and then just email it to me or it's up to you, really. I mean,
All right.
there's only five of us, so I mean, between the five of us, I'm sure we can come up with some interesting.
I'm sure we can find something to talk about. I mean, I'm looking at it as, more of an educational opportunity to really understand exactly what is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I
dynamic.
never
area.
walked it, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Right,
There's a comment.
there is limited parking there because there is a dog park.
The dog park, yeah.
So, there is quite a few people that use the dog park.
Yeah, I'm sure we won't be the only ones there. And there is we'll have to see, we'll just see how it goes,
Yeah,
There will be a public safety presence there too, right? Or not?
No.
No, there will not be. Okay.
No, it's just a hiking trail.
Okay, just questioning. So. Okay, yeah, any further discussion? And all those in favor of approval? Aye. Aye. On Zoom, anybody? Do I hear approval from you two gentlemen? Hello? I'm not sure Robert's hearing this.
I said aye.
Okay, and James?
What's the question?
Do you approve of the minutes as presented?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we all approve, okay. All right, the next item is old business, update, feedback on EAC recommendations to supervisors.
And here we arrive back to this conversation Mitch and I just had. The Board of Supervisors tabled the recommendation on the edits to the ordinance. They did have it on their agenda was a very long meeting. I wasn't there when they tabled it, but I would anticipate they'll take it up again when they have a shorter meeting with less agenda items. So they are taking it seriously. It's just they didn't get to it at the last meeting. The next update is on the official map.
Can you repeat that, Alex, because you're coming in garbled?
Yeah,
That-
so it's
well-
that recommendation was, discussion on that recommendation was tabled by the supervisors.
Recommendation for what?
For the
it's-
Environmental Advisory Council ordinance edit to allow for alternate members instead of non-voting members.
Got it. Okay.
The next
Yeah, because-
recommendation.
Yeah, I just want to say that there's something with the volume that it's garbling when you talk. Maybe it's set too loud.
I think it's on your end, Jim, because it sounds good for me.
Okay, well, I hear you very well. It's just that when Alex is speaking, I'm having trouble hearing what he's saying.
It might be my accent.
Well, where's the microphone for you? Do you know where the microphone is? It's somewhere
It's
up
a
there?
universal microphone for everybody.
I see. Okay.
So we talk loud and enunciate clearly.
Enunciate clearly. The next recommendation was that the EAC presented the official map update. That was kind of the big one you had worked on earlier this year. And the supervisors want the EAC to give a formal presentation on that. So the recommendation letter wasn't sufficient. They want the EAC to actually present what they put together and the rationale for putting it together at a future meeting. So they had asked for the upcoming meeting on the 9th. I'm not sure if it'll get on there or not, but I just wanted to have that conversation, see who can attend. Once we find out when it's gonna happen, I'll print out all the materials. And I'm happy to be there to help the process, but I think it'd be best if the EAC, someone from the EAC would formally present it to the supervisors. So that's kind of up for discussion as to when folks are available. Their next meeting's the 9th, and then I think the second one is on it. I have to check my calendar here. But those are the two date options.
Well, it'd be nice to know, well, if Pat would be able or willing to do that, since she is still formally the chair of this.
Well, James
council.
kind of took the lead on that,
Oh,
the
well,
whole map thing, so I mean,
okay.
James would.
If James is
a logical
willing
person
to
do it.
put together the presentation, that would be fine with, yeah, fine with me, I suppose.
Well, it's up to James if he's willing to volunteer to do it or not. I mean,
I don't know if he heard it.
Yes, I did hear you. It has to be a member. It can't be Alex because Alex is in an advisory position. So his weight is only as an advisor, not as a member of the council. So yeah, it would have to be one of us. What day? Do I have a choice here?
yeah, I mean, you do. It would be either the 9th of September, so that's next Tuesday, or just as looking at it, I think it's the 23rd.
Or the 23rd of September?
Yeah, it's the Tuesday, the 23rd at 6 p.m.
It will be the 23rd.
Okay, I'll let the township know. I appreciate
Okay.
your help.
Well, I'm gonna get with you because so we can go over what we have written down because I think you have all the notes already gathered up, right?
Yeah, I'm happy to help you with that.
But
Okay.
Can you, either one of you send out copies of this before the 23rd, so we have a chance
Yep.
to see it?
Yep,
Okay, that,
But we should have
absolutely.
them before the 23rd.
yeah, we probably would have a meeting before then anyway, right?
That's true. You do have a meeting. I believe it's on the
I may have it on-
19th, 16th. Either way, you do have a meeting the week before this, so we can put the materials together, put in front of you guys so everyone's comfortable at minimum.
That'd be great.
Okay,
All
That
righty.
works.
So are we up to, in old business item B yet?
I have one more other
Okay.
update.
All right.
Council, you sent a third recommendation. I think this is the one you were alluding to, Mitch, right? did one on the data centers. So the township is appreciative of it, and they are expediting the data center ordinance so they can adopt it. At the 9th, this coming supervisor meeting is when they expect to have it, at least the legal review. And the recommendation this group made on the water, that's also being reviewed by the attorney to see if there's any issues with that. So again, taking it seriously, they are taking action on it.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, there's a question or comment?
Yeah, just on that recommendation in general, just from like a bird's eye view of the ordinances, the conversation in the meeting was about keeping the ordinance language flexible because it's kind of a developing situation, developing technology. Obviously, you know, new news coming out every day from different countries. So just again, from a bird's eye view, it kind of doesn't make sense that we have the language saying, oh, the primary coolant source cannot be water. If it's a developing thing, it could be water trucked in from other places. It might not be water at all, like we've said, but just in general, the language doesn't really make sense in that respect. So do we have any like, I don't know, more discussion about that, or yeah, to the supervisors about it together before they adopt it? But just again, bird's eye view, it kind of seems contradictory in a way of saying we're isolating one source of coolant, but then we're keeping the general language of the ordinance flexible for a flexible developing technology. So that was just a general comment, not, you know, no horse in the race either way.
But Michael, I think our sources, like we see all the articles in New York Times and others, it's like, we don't want our well water to be drained out. That's the reason why we want to protect our water sources.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
So we have to have that strict language there, because if you don't have that and you leave that flexibility in the loopholes, you're definitely gonna have no water in your well after that. Think about it.
Even on that comment, it's more so the idea that we said water in general. I was saying that what if they offered to truck water in? What if they offered a whole myriad of solutions? So yeah, that's a great point. I stand with you on that as a citizen and constituent. I wouldn't want people's wells or groundwater to be affected, but you know, in general, again, it's about the language of the ordinance. That's what I was kind of questioning.
Good
Can I
comment.
make a comment? Because I'm the one who's very adamant about it.
I recognize James on Zoom.
Thank you, Ken. To clear that up, the language is supposed to read that water is not the primary source of cooling, that they have to show that there's no other, at whatever stage that they are, that water is, they have to show that it's not, that it's necessary, okay? And the amount of water that they're gonna use. It's not just, you see, cooling, the new cooling of today is done by air conditioning units. So needing water, especially where they could drain at 100,000 gallons a day, is a lot of water. And that would contaminate very quickly the surrounding water, especially the well water. And where our well water is always at having issues because we never have enough, the water table is never high enough at any given time these days to warrant somebody coming in and then sucking all the water out of the ground. They have to primarily show that there's no other alternative, but they have to show that the new cooling systems are probably the ones that are going to be used rather than using water. So it'll say both, but primarily they have to the primary coolant is mechanical means rather than the liquid in liquid form, i.e. water.
Yeah, James, I think that you're right, but I think that what we've already discussed is given, you know, an EAC recommendation to the board. And that's what we've done. That's our part. We've done our part and we'll wait to hear back from them. So
Right.
that's, yeah, we'll get that
Exactly.
variance and then move.
Exactly. Thank you.
So thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Titus.
Okay, one more quick comment.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of the public. I'm not sure there's many people in Smithfield Township that want a data center. By the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like there's any benefit to any of us around here. Are we gonna get faster internet? Maybe, whoop-de-doo. But our wells could go dry, our water could be contaminated. It's gonna be really ugly, really big, really big. I haven't heard good things about it. The only good thing about it is someone's gonna skim off the top and get paid. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. And I'm gonna speak on behalf of a lot of people. I sure as hell don't wanna see it here. And I know there's a lot of people don't wanna see it here. And I'd like to see a public vote on it rather than a vote on anyone in the board. Because I think it's a huge public issue and it's not just a board issue. And I don't think there's enough good representation on any of the boards across throughout this whole thing, no offense to anyone. That you're able to speak for the public on something so disgusting and ugly. But with that being said, Mountain Manor is a great place to put a data center if there's not a dirt bike track available there. And I mean, it's got everything you need, so let's
Yeah, I think that you're right, and as an environmental advisory council, it is our job, but it's not our. We don't have the authority to do anything other than say.
advise.
Environmentally, we advise that these are bad for.
Yeah, I just like to see this because there's a lot of time spent on this ordinance already. And it's non-existent in this place, and obviously someone's looking to do it here and inquiring about doing it here, and that's why the supervisors are pursuing this. And there's no other reason to pursue this other than it's coming here and they're looking at potential here, and the potential here is the water. We have a great abundance of water in this area, hence the Delaware water gap and all that, and Poconos is a beautiful place. Let's not ruin it with a data center. We tried our hardest to keep factories out of Marshall's Creek area and our hardest out of like factories. That's a lot nicer than a data center. And the way the wording is in this ordinance is wording it to make the data center seem better and cleaner and what it is. And yes, you can jump through the hoops, you can have the right vegetation and all that. It's still an eyesore, it's still a terrible thing. The construction of it's gonna be years. And it's gonna be a hindrance on all ends, traffic, water, and why should anyone have to even worry about their well? Stay the hell out of our water. It's pretty simple. And just saying, if someone is looking to do it here and someone's looking to get paid, and obviously that's why the supervisors are pushing this through and working so hard and diligently on this specific thing that is non-existent here, rather than things that already exist in this township and make the township a better place, because there's no way you can word it that a data center is a better thing for this area. End of question, end of story, end of discussion.
All right, thank you for your comment.
Maybe Robert could comment on the ordinance and what the supervisors are trying to accomplish with the ordinance.
Data centers, well, am I on?
Yes,
Data centers are allowed and have been allowed in the ED zone for a long time. The zoning ordinances have to allow for everything somewhere. And in the ED zone, they have allowed for data centers.
Why you say that, Robert?
Excuse me, going back about 10 years. What the supervisors have been trying to do is tighten up that allowance so it's much more difficult to build a data center here than it has been.
Well, from what I understand, most of the townships and municipalities in Monroe County are paying attention to this issue. So it's not something that affects just Smithfield. It potentially affects every single municipality in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I think that people are vigilant everywhere about these planned or unplanned or dreamed of data centers. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, just outlaw them like motocross tracks, it'll work.
Well, That's a entirely different issue and we're not dealing with that tonight. Any other, comments about, the next item on the agenda is, communicating and collaborating with neighboring EACs. Any news on that front?
Yeah, you have a draft letter. If you recall, you asked me to draft the letter up.
I did, right.
So put one together for y'all. And I hope if you had a chance to read it. Basically says the council recognizes the shared border with Stroud Township and emphasizes what happens in one township inevitably affects areas beyond its immediate vicinity. And highlighted shared concerns about water quality. Gave a little bit of background on what your group does, and then the council signed this letter to gauge whether Stroud Township's EAC leaders would be interested in setting up an informal meeting with ours. So basically, like Robert and Ken getting together with Sue Lyons, their liaison with whoever their chairperson is, informally to discuss this, and then go from there. Basically, is the nature of the letter. So, that's basically it. It's addressed to the Stroud Township Board of Supervisors with attention to Susan Lyons, who you had mentioned as your point of
Right.
contact there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's basically a draft letter. You guys can edit it. You can say it's good, and then, I can have the township send it. It's up to you guys if you want to do anything with it.
Can this go the way it is without approval from Smithfield Township?
It would need the supervisors to okay it, before, yeah.
So we could just do a motion to submit it to the
Yeah, to the supervisors.
Okay, so it's basically an exploratory letter, just to see how they would, how Stroud would formally respond to it. Okay,
I would just move that we approve this letter and
Okay.
recommend that it be sent out for our supervisors to approve it.
yeah, right,
And then hopefully without too much modification sent out, and we can get the ball rolling on this.
right, okay, well, and so are you making a motion?
I said I'd move that we
Okay.
do that.
All right, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second from Eric, and any further discussion? Are you guys on Zoom? Any comments or questions?
Good to go.
Good to go. Okay, I don't see Robert. He seems to have left the room for a moment. But, okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in, oh, there he is, I think. Robert, did you follow what we were doing there?
You're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Can you repeat it? I had to go.
A motion was made and seconded to approve the exploratory letter to Stroud Township regarding cooperation with their EAC. Do you approve of the letter being?
Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. So it sounds to me like we have
Aye.
unanimous approval.
Yeah, okay, was that a vote? You're all in favor?
Hey, I will take a formal vote. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, all right.
Yep.
All right, well,
Yeah,
that,
comment out here.
yeah, there is a comment. Yes.
Well, we're pointing out Stroud Township, and that's only one of our neighboring townships. We do have to the east and the north of us. Will we be looking into what they're doing and maybe?
Well, I can answer that question fairly easily. There's only one other EAC in Monroe County, and that's Barrett Township.
Okay,
None of the other municipalities have EACs at this
Okay.
time. They're voluntary. No municipality has to have a
so
EAC.
they're the only two besides us.
Correct.
Okay.
Paradise,
Does Paradise have one?
Paradise, Barrett, Smithfield Township,
And
Stroud
Stroud?
Township, and Kubaw Township.
Oh, so there are more than,
Those
three.
are active ones that I know of.
okay.
There's three already neighboring us.
Which three?
Well, Paradise is not that far.
Okay, it's,
Football's not that far.
okay.
I mean,
Well, the
more
idea.
rural than we are.
The idea is to cooperate and make sure we're not working at cross purposes, and I think we can all safely assume that everyone wants to protect the shared water supply, basically
Absolutely.
Broadhead Creek and of course the Delaware and other.
Oh,
creeks.
yes, absolutely.
All right, we have another comment or question?
Yeah, thank you.
About this anyway?
I'm from, yes, about the environmental things. I'm from Delaware. I just came here for these guys because I believe in the dirt pipe thing. I think it's great for young kids.
Sorry.
But I wanted to also talk about this data center. I just say, I'm from the Gap. I'm definitely gonna let people know about it. That's not something that I think is cool to have in our communities at all. And it's just sucking off of us. I feel like the whole thing is the whole data center idea and stuff like that. I really respect what everyone's doing here and it's awesome. But I do believe in stuff for kids to do in our area in the Pocono. And also to dry and like people, it's a real dirt bike racing and stuff like that. It's a real growing sport. And it's really good for young kids. I think it really helps to sponsor them and bring them up. I mean, if it can be minimalized and the amount of effect it has on neighbors, I think it's a really positive thing. You can find some really good stuff in it. And I just support it. That's why I came.
Sir, can I get your name?
I'm Joel.
Joel.
Yes,
What's your last name?
Raphael.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right,
You're welcome.
okay, item 7 is council member comment. Any other comments?
I don't have any comments.
No?
None for me.
On Zoom? Robert,
Comments for
Yeah.
what?
council member comment.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we receive all the information for our meetings in a timely manner. That at a minimum, we should know 48 hours at least 48 hours in advance. But ideally, we should have a week before we meet, because that way it'll give us time for us to go through the information, especially if we're looking at big changes in ordinances or we're making recommendations based on ordinances. We should have that information ideally a week before. And we should know that in advance rather than the day before. And I also like to make a suggestion that the emails should have a prominent Smithfield Township logo on it, because when they come in through my email, they come in as though they are personal emails. And I get thousands of personal emails, and filtering through that, especially when they come in a day before, it's very difficult.
Okay, James, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's make a note then. We'll bring this up on.
I'll second that motion.
Well, we can't make a motion.
We can't act on this.
I'll talk to the township about it, we'll try our best, if it's a holiday weekend, no promises, but otherwise, absolutely, yes.
Tim and I discussed this earlier, and I'm agreeing with him that I think 48 hours should be what we strive for in getting all this stuff. Sometimes it's impossible. I know with the township supervisors meeting, we try to get it on Monday for Tuesday or the Friday before. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't, but we try, and I think that's what we should strive for here. And I also think he's right in saying that the emails should have the official logo on them, just so he knows where it's coming from.
I'll have to talk to the township about that, but yeah, we'll certainly have a conversation about it.
Well, keep in mind, I requested sometime last year or earlier this year that we get the agendas in advance in time. So if we want to add items or recommend adding items to the agenda, that we're not already past the point of time where they have to be made public.
That's another. That's a good suggestion.
To ask all the members,
One person at a time.
it would be ideal to ask all the members of the EAC if we have any items we would like to see on the agenda.
Yeah, unfortunately, our previous process with Pat Owens was, this chairperson, because as you remember last year, protocol was that the chairperson would work with generally me to work on setting the agenda and any members, as soon as this meeting's over, any members can send a request. That's never changed. the protocol for who finalized the agenda is a little off, but yeah, you've always had that option. I know James has asked for agenda items, those appear to, so that's never changed, that never went away. So all I ask is that you get it to me. I think we've even talked about it, I need it at least, you know, most of the time, these agendas go out with at least 48 hours notice. So we, like Robert said, we strive to do that, and if anyone wants there to be an agenda item, just send me an email and it'll be there. Until we get a chairperson, that's the best way to do it. So I don't
How
have
far in
any issue with
advance?
that.
of
It
the
should be,
meeting?
it should be sent, because, you know, like, let's not use this last meeting as an example because it was Labor Day weekend. So if it's
Right.
not a holiday weekend, your meetings fall on either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, right?
Yeah.
So generally speaking, we would need those agenda items in hand by that Thursday before from you guys, because the agenda would either be sent out on a Friday or a Monday. So they have to be sent out well in advance. Ideally, while it's fresh in your mind right after this meeting, because I start working on the draft agenda, you know, early next week for the following week. So you have to remember there's a, you know, it's a little bit of a process.
Alex, who has the final say for the agenda to be approved to speak in this public forum? Is it Jacob, the chairman of the board of supervisors, or is it you, or the chairperson of the EAC?
I mean, it depends on, we haven't had a situation where an agenda item didn't make it on there, so I mean. I have to look into that question and get back to you on
Well,
it.
you have, because I've wanted to add items to the agenda after they have come out the first time I see them. And, then it's too late, because you can't meet the public notice. And that's why I would like to see them published.
So you mean when it's published and then you want something added within that 24 hours?
She's just asking it.
Right, I'd like to see them before it's too late.
It sounded like a question, Mitch, was, you know, who has the discretion of deciding what was on the agenda? Up until Pat left, it was up to her. Was that the question? Like, who can decide, you know, if let's say they ask for this to go on there, who can decide, no, that doesn't go on there?
That's one of the questions, who has the total control of the agenda to be released to the public?
Mhm.
And then Mitch or James or Eric, do they have any say to add to the agenda?
Yeah.
Or is it just one person picking the agenda items?
And any member of the council can suggest agenda items and, you know, as long as they get, like, that's what me and Mitch were just talking about, as long as I get them enough in advance before the agenda is published.
Okay, so if they don't provide anything to you, then who puts these on the agenda then?
The
Is it
township.
you or the supervisors?
That would be the township.
Who's the township?
The township is comprised of a number.
But who are those people? It goes back to the supervisors, that's what I'm trying to say. They have control of this agenda, like how board of supervisors, the planning commission, everything. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, none of this have a say in,
I think that all of the, for instance, the agenda today originates from the conversations that we
Yeah.
have here now. So, and there's never been a time where there was public comment, which then brought up a subject that we decided would then become something that we would have to vote on, that it was ever denied by somebody behind the curtain. Like, this is all just something, these are all just things that we've been actively talking about. And if I have an idea that I'd like to talk about, I put it on there. Or if there's a public comment and it was presented to us, then we make this an agenda.
but there were some talks, people have come in a public forum and addressed their issues. From dirty dirt to anything else, but topics are always being ignored, nothing is being done on a supervisor level.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So, but those
no
are,
violations going on.
I'm sorry, yeah,
no-
those are probably different.
I know we're
things.
getting out of.
Yeah, those are probably not,
It's
they're
still
probably not for the
it's still
environmental
environmental
advisor.
Well,
concerns are-
Yeah, I understand.
Well, here's a general statement I'm gonna make here. The Environmental Advisory Council is not a complaint board. If people have complaints, they need to fill out a formal complaint form with the township.
Yeah.
And then the zoning officer who enforces zoning violations will respond to the complaint. It's not our job to field complaints from the public.
Yeah.
And on that, just to piggyback, if I may, just to
One
piggyback on
person at a time, please.
just to piggyback on that, if I may.
Yes.
So we put those, I finished, remember at the last meeting, I did actually put all those, so if anyone here has a complaint against the township, there are forms out in the lobby, you can fill them out and submit them. Make it very easy for everybody, and that was. So they're right out in the lobby, take as many as you want, they're all, that's, we're.
And I'll just, and one more thing that I'd like to add, as the Environmental Advisory Council is new. And we don't have powers, okay, we're not here to tell somebody that they can't do something or they can do something. Mostly, we are an educational group that works with the public, that advises the public on how to be more environmentally friendly and how to have a more environmentally sustainable township. So I mean, it would make sense that we listen to what you have to say and then we have a discussion about it ourselves. And then maybe we could turn that into something that we can then send to the supervisors to advise them that we could do better for the environment. But really, that we're just here to talk and have a discussion and have a hike and do a pickup or cleanup. I think people get confused about the advisory council and that we have some type of power, we can stop people from doing things. We can't. All we can do is advocate, advise, teach. We can have, if you want to have an event at your farm or at your, your business about, how your business is more environmentally friendly than another, we can do that. But really, that's about it. So.
And that's a two-way street. I mean, our advice goes to the public.
Yeah, and then we get it back, yeah.
And it goes to the supervisor.
Absolutely.
Right, that's why it's so important that we get the feedback as to what's happening.
Yeah, just,
Can I make a statement? Is
Well,
that
one
okay?
person hold on, one person at a time.
Got
Anything
it.
that's gonna happen here in the township, whether it's an industry, an addition on a building, anything that's happening, the board itself sees this and they go, what is the environmental impact if we allow them to do it? Will it ruin wetlands? Will it overflow? Or are we gonna get contaminate creeks, things like that? Those are the things that the board looks into. And they go, is that good for us or not? It gets passed on with their advice to someone else who further looks into it. And says, let's do this and not do this.
And
This is our recommendation for
Correct.
your clean water. Keeping traffic to a minimum, which is tough around here. In general, environmental safety things, cleaning up where people have thrown trash over hills. And no one's gonna clean it up unless the council forms a group of people to go out there and do it. Take us out, show us, like Godfrey. We're due to hike. What was that prior? Does anybody know? I don't. I for sure like to go learn. What was there? It looks like an old railroad bed before they put in the waterway for the flooding. But there's so much to learn, and this council is absorbing so much stuff here right now that for them to literally make an agenda, they're feeding off of everything that's gonna happen or may happen in this township and looking at what can we do to prevent anything from ruining our rural area.
All right, there was a comment from on Zoom from one of you.
Yep, that's me.
Okay.
What I was hearing wasn't necessarily that somebody wanted to complain. What I thought I heard was people from the public wanted to know if they can make any suggestions. I know that I'm pretty sure they know that if they want to file a complaint, they have to get a complaint form. But I think I was hearing that maybe they would like an opportunity, if they have an idea, they'd like to suggest it, to see it on the agenda.
Okay.
that's why we're here.
All right, all right.
Thank you, James.
All right, any other comments from the public? We'd like to keep our meetings to roughly an hour if we can. Any other comments from the public?
Is this public comment?
Yeah, I think we're up to public comment now, aren't we? I believe so.
Good
Can you
evening.
add your name, please?
My name is Elisa Byrne. I am the owner of the Back Nine. My family also owns the Mountain Manor Resort, which is located very close to here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I see some new faces, so we appreciate what you're doing. I mainly just wanted to offer an invitation to you guys. We have been having this ongoing issue. We've had a lot of information, and we were really, really excited in our litigation with the township. Judge Zulik had been open-minded and ruled that he would be game to come to our property for a site inspection. So we've done a lot of due diligence with the environmental agencies that are around this area and that you guys work directly with. So we voluntarily entered into an agreement for an NPDES permit. We have had members of the EPA come. We have had people come and do all of the things that were asked of us and mostly not asked of us. But what I wanted to share with you all is that we're really, really, really proud of our backyard. We've done a lot to try to keep our little slice of heaven here in the Poconos green. And that's our intention. We don't want to develop our property further. We'd like to keep it the way it is and maintain the integrity of the Poconos for my children and for your children and for our families. So it was kind of really disheartening when we weren't given that opportunity. Robert, I was hoping that you would be here tonight because we were looking forward to having you to our property as well. We want to, show you what we're talking about, show you the area in which our track has been constructed. We wanted to show you all of the things we've done with the space to comply with the environmental stuff in agencies. It's a really beautiful property. I know, Robert, you've been there a few times. But I know that we have welcomed you, and I would like to welcome all of you to come. I would like for you to come to our backyard and see this area and this space right up the road that everyone has all these thoughts and feelings and discussions about. So, and I also just wanted to comment publicly that during the last meeting, when I was sharing here, I know that we, unfortunately, sometimes people aren't able to make the meetings, and technology is wonderful and they can zoom in and stuff. But when I was up here speaking publicly that, one of the constituents had the ability to zoom in and call me a derogatory name, that was on the live YouTube that is now documented. And I feel like that needs to be noted because I don't feel that that is conducive to the atmosphere that we're trying to, harbor here. And I also wanted to thank you for doing your jobs and for joining with us to try to maintain the space that's green and here, and we value that. I was not, like I've said before, I was not lucky enough to be born in this area, but I chose to be here. This is my chosen home. I've been here for over a decade. My family, yes, we are very grateful to be here. We're blessed. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. There's so many amenities naturally provided. The river, the hikes. I agree with you. Like, I would love to go and learn a lot about this area. But I appreciate what it is that you're doing. And again, I really, really would encourage the supervisors and the zoning officer and anyone that's involved in anything in this township to really dig your heels in and actually come out and see us. So we were very excited. We worked very hard. My children are out there with weed whackers. We are out there all the time. Most of these kids that show up and, partake in the activities that we offer on our resort, they join in and help. Shovels, digging, machines. It's very impressive. We have several ponds. We have all of these beautiful things that we would like for you to come and kind of experience. There's walking trails. We've taken all of the old cart paths. We maintain those and we offer those to our community. People walk, they enjoy it. And it's really just a beautiful space that we're trying to maintain. But when we were told that the site inspection was no longer going to be happening, we felt very discouraged because we were excited to have you at our home and in our backyard. So I would like to offer that invitation, and I will formally make a invitation to you all, and I will email you to the appropriate channels. But I hope that some of you would be willing to see the spaces that are right around the corner that we are preserving. we were working really, really hard. And every time anyone came out from the EPA or in regards to, we have a state-of-the-art sprinkler system. We've invested a lot of money, blood, sweat, and tears in this stuff to maintain the integrity of dust control. All of those things that would be a concern of all of yours and all of ours. We've worked very diligently. We have invested, we have worked hard, and we would love to show that off to you. Not only to show you that we're very compliant, but also because we're proud. We're very proud to be here. We appreciate your hard work and your efforts stepping up and becoming a board member. It's not an easy position. And that's all I have to share. So I appreciate your time, and I also really do appreciate the atmosphere that's in this room tonight. Thank you for your attention and not being on your cell phones, and thank you very much.
Yeah, if you can send us or send me that.
Yes, I would be happy to.
Do you have my email?
I will get it.
Okay, yeah, I might have cards there or some in the lobby. I
Okay.
can forward it to the group here. I mean,
Yeah,
Okay.
that would
I
be
don't see
great.
why not.
We
right?
would love to have you
It's up
because
to you guys if you want to.
that was a recommendation that, I think Ron and the legal counsel had agreed would be beneficial for the community to actually see the space that we're referring to. And when we were, some of the neighbors had mentioned like these fines and these violations and all of these fictitious things, that's never been, we've never received a violation. We've never received a fine. And I just kind of want to be transparent with everybody because there's a lot of chit chat, and we have been behind the scenes doing our due diligence to stay on the up and up, but we really haven't had an opportunity to express to the community all of the things we're doing to comply. And I feel that that may be helpful for you all, and it may be helpful for the community. We have a lot of stuff that goes on our properties, such as community events. We have, the local churches come and host carnivals that are welcome to anyone in Smithfield Township at no cost. So we love that we have a lot of space, and we would like to share that with you. So I hope that you will take me up on that, and I hope that we could see you. I will shoot you an email with a formal request. But thank you again. I appreciate it.
Okay,
I have a quick question before anybody goes. Counts, will that become, public notice of that date when it comes out?
Yes.
That's up, if you guys want to exchange contact info, it's up to you. I can send it to the group here, but.
Okay, I'm very interested in coming to look at what
Yeah.
you're providing.
Yes,
I know what you are, but I've
Yes.
never been there.
Absolutely.
I'm interested in seeing what's over there
absolutely.
to
So.
become a little more knowledgeable of what's going on
So
with that.
we are a private community. So with being a private community, there are issues that affect the environmental things as well. So we maintain our own water system. We maintain our own roads. We maintain our own power and electricity. So when something goes awry, we don't call you guys. We don't ask taxpayers to fund fixing our roads. We don't ask taxpayers to come and turn our lights back on. We do that. These kids do that. They get in heavy equipment. We get whatever it is we need to get, and we fix it ourselves. So it's very something that we are proud of. And it is private property. We have had an issue with a lot of people, actually, people from the township who want to see what's going on trespassing in a manner that's probably not very appropriate. Because there's 77 families that live on our property, and they are our responsibility. We care for them. They're small children. We have cultivated an atmosphere where people are allowed to share space. We have a lot of shared fire pits. We have a lot of shared ponds. People break bread. They do fires at night. And when people from the outside come in to kind of like poke around, so to speak, we don't know if they are coming there, wanting to be a part of, but we would prefer to welcome you. So I would
Okay.
definitely include you in that. We would love to make a day where everyone is welcome to come and take a little track tour and a property tour and.
I only say because anything that comes up in here and then goes further down the line to the supervisors and stuff, I do make it a personal thing of my own
Yeah,
to go and look at the areas
yeah,
that are in question.
Yeah.
I know there's one with some storage units going up. I went and looked at that area. I
Yeah.
went down, I've looked at the pump track or bike park. I've gone out and looked at the areas and visibly got an eye on everything that's being asked that people want to do with the township.
and I think that's really helpful to involve the community, because what happens is that there's a lot of misinformation and people create these ideas of what a space is. And when we discuss things such as like a sound wall, or we discuss the proximity with elevation, it's very hard for someone like myself who's not very well versed in that type of stuff to like imagine what it actually looks like. So I do find that it's relevant for people in our community to be welcomed there and to actually see it, including, you know, the people that are making decisions, or a lot of the misinformation. I think when you come onto the property and you actually visually see the aesthetic of what it is we're speaking of, I think it's helpful. So we would love for you to come, and we would welcome all of the community to come. So we'll organize that with Alex. I'll shoot you an email tonight in a timely fashion, and I appreciate that.
I like it, so.
And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Alex?
Any other
Yes,
comment?
Robert.
Yes, I would advise all the council members and Alex that you should not have any interaction with Back Nine or any of the property here because there are two pending lawsuits. And until our council advises all of you on what you should do, you cannot take any action.
Okay. So I could speak on that, Robert, directly. So I will shoot the email instead of to Alex. I will have Ed send that to Ron, because that is something that I think would be helpful, and I do respect that. So instead of personally emailing you, I'll go through Ron. We do talk a lot, so I have his information and I will get in touch with him. I think the community deserves an opportunity to come out, so I would still like to welcome them. You don't have to come, you've already been there, but I would like to welcome other people.
I can speak to that really
They
quickly.
know what's going on.
Absolutely send the invite, please do, and the invite is an open invite.
Yeah, for the community, not for you.
So please.
Thank you.
Send the
We
invite.
would love for you to
and
come.
We appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
We wanna keep on topic. I think there
Yes.
was one more public comment.
Thank you.
Right.
Too. There's one more.
One more, let's give the gentleman there for, I think we've heard quite a bit about the track tonight.
Name, anybody need it?
Yes, we would prefer that you
Okay.
provide your name, please.
Name Sean, S-E-A-N, Collins, C-O-L-L-I-N-S. I'll try and, as I always do up here, be as brief as possible so that information can be absorbed fully. I know that this hearing here is for environmental purposes and the sake of a data center. And out of curiosity, how long, if you're able to answer this, would the process be for that data center to, from approval to construction? Do you know how long that
Well,
would be?
first of all, no data center has been proposed for Smithfield
My
Township
bad.
yet,
My
so there's not an issue yet. The ordinance is designed to make sure that we're prepared for anyone who might propose a national data center in Smithfield Township. That's the way I understand it. Is that-
Yeah, no, there's been no proposals, but like hypothetically, it takes years, let's say, you know, in some other township, if they got a data center proposal. Something, a big project like that can take many, many years
Okay,
before it actually breaks ground. It can be a long time.
okay, so I assume then it has to go through a lot of these channels to get approved, or?
And a land development plan would go through the township. You know, if they have to subdivide first and then do land development, that extends it even longer. And then they have to get their highway occupancy permit, they have to get their NPDS permit. And, you know, between all of the reviews, the reviews themselves can take years at a time, and then they have to do the developers agreement, and there's a whole process involved. Associated with them just breaking ground, they have to do site prep first, get all the stormwater facilities, sewage in place, you know, they have to build a pad for it. And then they still have money left after all that, and they start building the buildings. And then they have to get the certificate of occupancy for the building itself, and then after all that, then potentially they can open up, but that, as I understand it, it can take years.
Okay. Only reason I asked that question, and again, I'll try and be as brief as possible. I know you guys probably don't enjoy sitting here late into the night where it's dark and hearing a lot of the conversations circle back to one topic. And I'm gonna follow that trend of circling back to that one topic, but I'm here with the Back Nine Motocross Facility. They spent a long time building that facility up, and they have been closed now for over a year. And I know that these meetings are around one topic, but there's been 12 months that have passed for one of our relevant issues, many members of this town, and we're still exactly where we were, to my knowledge, a year ago. And I'm just letting you know that I let the last group know, there's a lot more eyes on you than you realize. There's a lot more eyes than just in this room, and there's a lot of eyes on the township that are watching you right now and are, you have the opportunity to be on the map for something really good. And right now, current public perception of you guys is not that good. I'm not saying that to attack anyone personally.
I appreciate your frustration. We've heard everything that everyone has had to say about this. But again, I have to tell you that the EAC is an educational, environmental board. That is what we are. And this long process that I've all been fighting for, I will tell you that I don't even believe that it's come up on any of our reviews or you've given us anything. We can't say one way or another. I've never said that we didn't want the back nine ever.
They said you did.
Well, it's not.
They've said that we've.
Well, no, I mean, perhaps someone said that I did, but I've never talked about it in my life. So
We appreciate.
I'm just saying, that I grew up, my father was a motocross guy. I've been to many tracks. I'm happy to talk about this at any time. But what I mean is, we can't help or hurt you as we can't help or hurt you as a back nine motocross or potential back nine motocross facility, because we have no power over whether it gets approved or denied or anything. So
You influence the supervisors?
what's that?
Don't you influence the supervisors? If you say you guys talk amongst yourselves?
We do,
And then
we
present. to
the only
supervisors?
the only thing that we do here, and you've just seen what we do here, we talk about a topic.
No.
And then if we have something to do, we're doing, this is what we're doing. You wanna know, we're doing a hike at Godfrey's Ridge.
That's awesome.
We're doing pick up the Poconos.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. I think it's awesome too. What I don't think is awesome is being told that I can advise, deny, or influence somebody else. Now, hold on,
That is what.
hold
you
on.
said.
No, listen,
I will not.
hold on.
Hey,
No, hold on,
Okay.
just give me a second.
One person at a time, sir.
Hey,
What I'm saying,
There is a point of
Here,
order here.
here.
Point of order.
Yes, what I'm saying, if you have something that you'd like for us to talk about, bring it up.
That's what we're talking about.
No, you're not. Okay. What you would like for us to come visit your facility so that we can say good or bad or
No,
indifferent.
just so that you could see
Okay,
that we're compliant. We have filed all of these environmental things and never spoken to
but
the
we're not a
environment.
regulatory board.
But
We're
I'm
just,
just welcoming you as a
I-
community
and I-
member because you're involved enough to be sitting here that you should be involved enough with what's going on in the community, and I know you are.
I know,
We're
we
just-
appreciate.
I was here to welcome you.
I don't know, and we appreciate that, and that's what I'm saying, is if you gave us the invitation. I honestly know nothing about the entire thing, we're happy to learn about it, always. We can easily make this a discussion at another time, but there has to be, a formula to what we're talking about.
Correct, but
Are we talking about, hold on, just one second, are we
One
gonna,
person at a time.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say,
please.
hold on, let's take it, got
Okay, it's
it.
just a point of order. Eric's.
This is all I'm saying, if you were to, let's just give this is a hypothetical situation. Back nine comes to the Environmental Advisory Council and says, we have made a beautiful, environmentally friendly, business that we would like to offer to the public. We want to give you a presentation on how beautiful it is. This is something we could talk about, or why it's educational environmentally for the community. That's something we can talk about. Anything else, we can't really talk
But
about
that's what I
because,
was asking. I didn't know that. That's.
I'm just saying, because we don't have we have no say. We're just here to advise our township. So I really appreciate you guys coming here. I know you're upset, I get it. But you're kind of barking up the wrong tree because we can't help you. Now, if you have something that we can help you with, bring it to us. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Right, I think we've had enough discussion of the track, Craig's Meadow, and that's.
I haven't finished,
Well,
I beg of you,
you said you were going to be brief, sir.
and I got cut off before I got finished.
All right, finish then, sir.
Okay, I know that this is about environmental, and I know that it has veered off a few times, and I can see visible frustration on your faces, but unfortunately, what I was trying to get to is that this is a group of people who feel very unheard, who have tried to go through proper channels to get their issue resolved, and in a year's time, no progress has been made, so. When you try and go through the correct channels time and time again, and you're stalled and stalled and stalled, or bureaucracy piles up and gets in the way. This is another forum to try and talk to people and bring up issues, and if it feels like we're wasting your time, well. 12 months have been wasted on of their time, so. I won't drag it out any longer, I just wanted to utilize the space for comment, and I appreciate you hearing me.
All right, thank you. I think we have time maybe for one
My
more
name's
comment.
Zach Klapkowski. Listen up, Robert. You know, every time you got in trouble, the first time you got in trouble at school and your mom said, you keep hanging out with them kids, you're gonna look bad at you. A lot can be said about Robert. And obviously, he's hindering you from talking about actual issues. So careful who you hang out with. Obviously, we're learning that from the two that aren't sitting up here and the two that aren't in the room. And just to break it to be clear, a lot more is getting done a lot faster without the nags in the room. So just want to for food for thought, careful who you hang out with. Robert's not a good person to hang out with. There's multiple lawsuits going on in this township with Robert, and you guys don't want to be screwed up in that, because as you can see, you're already caused in that, as Robert just drug you into it. He drug you guys into it. So careful who you hang out with, especially weasels like Robert. He's a real piece of shit.
Well, try not to.
Well-
We don't do ad hominem attacks as much as possible.
All right.
If you wouldn't
He's
mind.
not a lawyer, so he shouldn't be giving you guys legal advice. And he's not even here, so what does that say?
He's scared, and actually, thank God for him. We're spending more money. This guy's getting dinners on.
Mr.
This
Chairman,
guy
I move we
because
adjourn.
because Robert feels unsafe, and he's not even here. And you can tell that the problem in the room would more than likely be Robert and Jacob, judging by how everything else is going around here. So careful who you guys hang out with.
Point of order. I'd like for a point of order.
Shut up, Robert. No one cares.
Good job, guys.
All right,
Robert, you too.
that's
Mr.
enough.
Chairman,
I move to adjourn.
move to it. And I second. I second.
I give a motion to adjourn.
See you later, Weasel.
I second.
Turn.
All right,
Aye.
a second.
Thank you.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.